Yes, now it's time for Promimic, and I'm here to talk about Promimic and our journey for making implants integrate. My name is Magnus Larsson, and there we go. And I also have my CFO here, Heidi Bader. Our journey is about surface modification. The company is based here in GoCo, Health Innovation. We make a super thin surface modification of implants that are going into bone. So I-Tech talk about coatings. We are another type of coating or surface modification that goes on to all types of different implants that is growing into bone. We were listed at First North almost exactly 3 years ago. So you find us as a listed company there, and it was quite a challenging time at that time when we did the IPO, because it was exactly when a certain person invaded Russia. But anyway, we managed to get through, and we are based here in the North Tower. We also have a sales office in Austin, Texas, and we recently also have a processing site at Warsaw, Indiana. We are mainly focused in the US market of doing the surface modification of implants. So this is what our product looks like in a electron microscope, and it's only 20 nanometers, which is so thin you can't see it with the naked eye. And the beauty here is that we stimulate the bone cells in the body to proliferate or grow onto the implant surface to make the implant stable at an earlier time point. So traditionally, you probably heard about HA coating. Has been in the market for approximately 35 years. It's a thicker layer that blocks all types of pores and again does stimulate bone growth in some way. But our new surface modification is super thin, and it's enabled us and our customers also to modify really, really thin implants, porous implants like I hold in my hand right here. This is a unique implant done of 3D printed PEEK, a plastic, inert plastic, first of its kind. And Promimic is the only company in the world right now that can modify implants like this. And what do our surface modification do? I'll show you a little bit of a video here. And the yellowish implant here is modified with our solution. So it's make the surface super hydrophilic. It kind of, against gravity, blood, this is water with blue ink, is going against gravity, surrounding the implant as a total. Here we see a 3D printed implant, and it's totally filled with water. And if it would be in the body, it would be blood. And this kickstarts the healing phase. We can modify any type of implant, any type of design, any type of material to enhance healing. And also PEEK, which I also showed you here, is an inert material that doesn't adhere to human cells or tissue cells like that. Oh, good. It worked. It didn't work the first time I tested. So we kickstart the healing, and the most important part of the healing in implants when you install it into the body is the first 2 to 4 weeks. And that's where our surface modification kicks in and helps the body to produce bone cells to keep the implant stable. We have also developed a new process. We can now do what we call a low temp or low temperature processing, meaning we can also modify sutures, meshes, and other type of soft polymer implants that goes into soft tissue in other parts of the body. This opens up a totally new market for us, a new segment in the marketplace, addressing a large proportion of the market. So recently, we passed 2 million implants in the marketplace installed with our technology. We did that in December last year. We also are through the process of being question our technology. We have clear proof of concept. We have more than 30 preclinical studies and 3 clinical studies. The clinical part is mainly in dental. I will come back a little bit to where our surface modification is mostly used. So FDA and other regulatory bodies have very few questions today about if our technology works or not. Mainly, if there is questions, it is the company that we are working with that gets the questions on their product, if it's eligible or not. So, in this skeleton, it's a little bit a sketch over where we are, where products are available. And I can also mention, we are licensing our technology to implant producers. We don't produce implants ourselves. We sell our technology to companies like SIN, ATEC, Enovis, or Oncosurgical. We are trying to reach one of the largest companies as well, being Zimmer Biomet or Stryker or other types of large companies. We are in discussion with them as we speak. The most volume is in the dental industry. There's probably 2.5 implants per patient in that setup. We also, there's SIN, which is a Brazilian dental implant company, recently acquired by Henry Schein, which is the 4th largest dental implant producer in the world. They were first with our technology in the market. You also then see spine. The spine section is a really growing market for us, and it's also a main market in the orthopedic section. Thoracic fixation is when you do open heart surgery. If you can close the sternum or the chest really nicely, you have a better healing process and you have better outcome when it comes to open heart surgery. Lumbar fusion, we have the SI joint fixation, we have knee implants, and last but not least, we have limb salvage system. It was touched upon when Integrum talked about salvage limb. Here we don't, in this section, Oncosurgical are treating the most severe cases of patients you have. Patients with cancer has gone through radiation and chemotherapy, and they wanted to have the best solution for healing for their patients, and they selected our surface modification for that. They don't do very many cases per year, but it's kind of a top of the healing process that you would like to get into. We have recently also looked into how bacteria behaves on our surface, and this is a really key area that we now are focusing our research on, and it's a very interesting area. This is the #1 factor of implant failures, and in 2030, the cost of reoperation of patients in the US alone will be estimated to approximately $1.3 billion alone. So this is one of the toughest area to be into. Our surface by itself reduces bacteria and biofilm on the implant surface between 33 and 45%, depending on bacteria stem and how we measure it in our laboratory. The next step here is to see how can we improve that even more. Can we find combination with other substances that can reduce this even more? And can we also find something that kills bacteria? But that's the research area right now. Our main focus is to increase our current customer pool and also increase the share of wallet in all the companies that we are working with. So we have 4 different sets of generating revenue. First of all, I mentioned we are a license business. We do license agreements with our customers. They pay a license fee. Then we do a development. We optimize our surface modification onto each product of our customer, meaning we do a development. It takes approximately between 6 to 12 weeks to optimize this. The result of that optimization is an SOP, standard operating procedure. It's a recipe on how to process each implant, and that goes into NPI, which stands for Nano Processing Inc. We do all the processing for our customers in the US. They outsource the process to us, so we get a revenue stream from that. Last but not least, we get royalty on sold products. So when the companies sell their product, we get a kickback, you can say. We get a royalty between 2 to 5% of the average sales price in the marketplace. So that's where Promimic earns our money. The market driver in the market we're in is, first of all, the high demand of differentiation of products in the marketplace. You want to stand out. You want to have something extra that that your competitor don't have. That's number one driver. Number two is surgeries today are becoming more and more complex. You have concomitant diseases from patients. Some are obese, overweight. They have diabetes. Some of them have other type of metabolic deficiencies or situations that decreases healing. So if we have animal models showing that we can normalize healing in a deficient patient. We saw it in the cancer patient, we see in the different animal models, and also younger patients are getting put on this operating table. 10 years ago, a normal patient was around 70 or 65 to 70 when you got your first new knee or new hip. Today, the age is reducing to about 45 years, especially in the US and the UK. And a prosthesis or an implant lasts for about 20 to 25 years, and then you have to do reoperation. So if you're 45 or 50, are put on the surgical table again when you're 75 or something like that, it's 80, the risk increases by doing operations of that type of people. The number of people, the age in the population is rising, and most people would like to have an active life. They want to go out on their boat. We talked about that previously. Go play golf or have an active life. And with a hurting hip or a hurting knee, that becomes more difficult. So that's also why a number of elderly people get surgery. And last but not least, new technology. 3D printed implants are becoming more and more the standard of care, really taking a large market share. And it's very difficult to modify new technology implants, 3D printed implants or porous implants with the traditional technology. Promimic offers a solution, and I would say more than half of our business today comes from new technology implants. So our foundation for growth you see here. First of all, the red bar here is new products on the market by our customers. So they register with FDA or other regulatory bodies. And today, closing 2024, our customers have more than 50 products on the market. Second part that drives our business is new license agreements. And here it says to be flat. What happened was that we had 2 new ones and we canceled 2 ones to upgrade our portfolio. We had a third one that was signed in January, but we didn't count it because it's going to be counted on 2025. But we are steadily, surely, but slowly growing our business base of licensees, and they are putting more and more products onto the market. So financials. If we look on the fourth quarter, which was all-time high for Promimic. We sold for 12.6 million Swedish. A growth rate that was around 24%. Full year, we have a sales of 44 million and a growth rate of 19%. That's a little bit on the low side if we have to be honest ourselves. We would like to grow a little faster. The beauty in our business is that we have a great gross margin. We are north of 90% in gross margin. So what we're really focusing and aiming on is to grow our top line to be able to become profitable. This year we have an aim to be both cash flow positive and generate a profit. And this is our three main revenue streams: products and services sold. It's the development of customer products that we talked about, and products sold. Our surface modification comes in a coating liquid. We produce it here in the house on the fourth floor. That's what we sell to NPI and sell to other customers that might produce their own implants in-house. So they take this this coating liquid, apply it to the implants, and do a short heat treatment. That's all it takes to modify the implants. It's a very simple, straightforward, wet chemistry technology that is very simple to use, both for us as a company, providing the service to some of our customers, but also to internalize, to do in-house for the bigger companies. Processing at MPI is the revenue stream we get from processing customers' implants at Warsaw, Indiana. And last but not least, the royalty and license fee is the gray bar. So those are the three main revenue streams. Royalty and license is our key. We grow 41% in quarter 4, and this is and will be our main revenue income stream. The growth plan that we have, this is up to 2026. We did the IPO in 22. We changed the business model, also including processing. We are growing our sales team in the US. Today we have 3 people, and I think that's sufficient. Our sales channels are pretty straightforward. We have selected 146 customers in the orthopedic field that we focus on. They are our main customers. We have reached 16 of those today, so we have a way to go. With the new technology, with the low temp, we will include another 12 companies that do sutures and meshes and soft polymer. So it's a very selective market that we are addressing. So one of the main areas of growing our company is to add new customers to the company and doing more business with existing customers. It's not harder than that, and it is that hard. So that's the 2 things that we need to do. We have moved to here, to GoCo, and we have increased our capacity. We're also improving our processing capacity in the US. For those who remember, we had a fire in our new plant in the beginning of the year. That's now all cleared. We are starting production there in June. And that will increase our current production with 3 times. So processing will not be a bottleneck at all. And we also do new market development. We are looking into geographical expansion, and we are looking into new areas, mainly bacterial prevention. So why invest in Promimic? First of all, we are in a high demand, growing market with orthopedics. It is very little influenced by, previously we talked about interest rates and turmoil in the world. Now with the new legislation or new government in the US, it's a little bit, I wouldn't say unknown, but you never know what will happen with the cuts in FDA and stuff like that. But I think operating on patients in the hospital will still remain the same. We have an established technology. We don't need to go through any new approvals. Our customer needs to get a 510K registration by the FDA. If they have a product that is registered and they take our solution, it is a 30-day special with FDA. So in 30 days, they will get an answer from FDA if they can sell the product or not. And that's pretty easy. It takes a little bit longer to optimize the product itself for us and the customer together. They can have a new product in the market within 6 months. 6 to 12 months probably would be a better guess. And we are in the forefront of development and the forefront of what we can do to our customers. We can modify any type of material, any type of design, any type of porosity, and now also with our low temperature method, we can also modify soft polymers, which has been a tremendous improvement for us. So with that, I thank you and open for questions.
Yes, comment a bit on competition.
On competition, our biggest competitors is nothing that we have done before. That companies are protecting their old big products, saying that we will not change anything because this is a high margin, high volume project. We will not do anything. But we can try on this little smaller product, and that's what's happening. So that's our biggest challenge, to overcome that hurdle, that what can we do for you in the large volume products. There are other surface modification out there. I think there are about 4 or 5 different surface modification companies, not with a thin surface like we have. And some of the big orthopedic companies like Zimmer Biomet, Stryker, have their own internal process of HA, traditional HA, thicker layer of HA. So that's something that we need to pull through. Having said that, we are in discussion with Stryker, which is the world's leading company. They are looking for something thinner to put on 3D printed and porous material. So it takes the big ones are hard to beat, but we don't give up. Yes?
You're included in your customers' clinical trials.
Yeah.
So you're to a large extent dependent, of course, upon their success of sale.
Yeah.
Can you comment on the variation, sort of when you secure a new product, a new customer, what the variation is?
If you mean what we can do for outcome, or do you mean the spread of how much they sell?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's not by just adding sort of, you get a new customer, doesn't necessarily add X amount of revenue, because it will vary a lot.
Yes, it will. It will.
What's that variation typically, and what has it been?
Historically, if you take one of our smallest customers, they will have a revenue of a couple of 100,000 Swedish every year. If you take among our largest customers, they can sell between 10 and 15 million Swedish per year. So it's a big variation. And our dream customer would be a large company with an innovative product that will have a tremendous success in the market. That would be a dream customer. But that takes time, because most of those products are highly protective of. We don't want to lose margin. We don't want to lose volume. Adding your new modification is a risk for us. So they, like I said, they take a smaller product instead and do a test. Now we are through the testing, so we have proven for the market that our technology works. So now we are starting to moving towards the more larger accounts. Yep.
Yeah, I have a question. Anyhow, if you follow an asset-light tech company, they also have they have like design wins.
to communicate that they have products that will be launched. If I follow Promimic, do you have something like that to follow your market success, so to say? Because I guess you have like an order book of projects that will go live, right?
Yes, we have. What we are following and communicating is new license agreements and new products cleared for sales from our customers. So there were the two graphs I showed you. Those are the two main drivers, I would say. Then we have some, if we do clinical testing and clinical trials or new findings, like we put out a press release in February, like a month ago, that with our results from bacteria prevention. So that's the type of communication that we do. The design wins, it's hard to quantify because some customers have one single product that they are launching, and that could be a big one or a small one. It's difficult to say in advance. Or we have other customers, like our largest customer, ATech or Alphatech. They have now 8 products on the market, and there are another 6 or 8 in pipeline. So that will be a large customer for us. And that's kind of a nice customer to have. We would like to have more of those who use our technology as a platform. They put it on all their implants that goes into bone.
Yeah, okay. Could you say something about the cell cycle for your technology?
Yes. We had the fastest customer last year that we had so far, Next Ortho Surgical. We met them and it took 8.5, almost 9 months from we signed the contract until they were launching. That's the fastest we've had so far. Usually it takes between 12 and 18 months from that we sign a contract to a product, to have a product on the market. Mainly, historically, it was regulatory time and development time in our laboratory. Those are the two bottlenecks right now.
I think your gross margin is also quite amazing.
Yes, it's quite amazing.
Yeah. And do you think that is sustainable? Is price an issue at all, or is it?
Yeah, we are getting a little price pressure again, and we also see that some of the activities that we do will have an impact on margins moving forward. So I depending how we are doing the bookkeeping, it might affect the gross margin as well. But the gross margin of our licensing will always be 100%. So it depends how much we expand in processing and other type of businesses that will decrease the margins a little bit. But we will still be a high margin business.
What about the competition? When you talked about, you have quite a list of possible clients, right?
Yes, we have.
So when your sales team meets this, how do you differ yourselves, or how many other companies like yours are actually going after this list of companies?
There are, like I said, we have about 8 or 9 different competitors. They're offering surface modification in one way or the other. And none of them have such a thin surface modification like we do, and none of them can offer a very simple to use solution with wet chemistry like we do. So in that area we are unique, but then it comes to pricing. And we think highly of our technology, and we would like to keep prices quite high, to be honest. But we'll see when it comes to volume. It's a trade-off between volume and pricing here. And if we really get into one of the big ones, we might reduce price a little bit. But still, we will still be a high margin company. But yeah, competition is getting more intense, and price pressure is also visible in the marketplace.
Yeah, okay. Thank you very much, Magnus.
Thank you.
We don't have any more time. It's time for lunch.
Yes.